is the word of the living God. Look at three people and tell them it's sure enough is. It's sure enough is today. Yes, it is today. Gonna go into two scriptures today. First, let me just thank God for all of our guests today. We're so glad to see you. And we want you to know you came to church today. We're not going to have you stand up. We ain't going to have you come and say nothing on the microphone. We know sometimes folk just want to come to church and be left alone. Just enjoy the Lord and be left alone. So we just want you to know that we are honored with your being here today. If you would stand with us at the reading of the Word of God. However, we just ask that you would rest to your feet. And if you would find scripture that we're going to start with is Hebrews chapter 10. I'm going to read it from the King James Version, Hebrews chapter 10, and I'm going to read just verses 38 and 39. And then we're going to partner that story with the gospel recorded by Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 34. But I just want to read for our listening pleasure on today. If you would travel with me to Hebrews chapter 10, verses 38 and 39. If you've got that, shout glory. If you don't have that, shout wait. All right, I'm going to wait on you. I'm going to wait on you. I'm going to wait on you. I'm so glad y'all here today. While some folk are still finding Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38, 39, I want to say thank you to all of those of you whom have made the fun day yesterday. You made it possible. You made it happen. I'm so grateful for all of those of you who helped us just serve. It turned out it was a little no, it was cold. It was cold yesterday. It was cold. I was going to say it was chilly, but then I didn't want to lie. It was cold. It was cold yesterday. But you all hung out there, and everybody was out, and not a lot of people came, but our folk came. And it was a fun day for us. And we needed a fun day, because we've gone through some things this year, and we needed some time just to get together. Amen. All right. If you have it now, I'm going to have you shout amen. All right. That should have been long enough now. All right. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38 and 39 reads, "Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul." All right. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we, those of us who are here, if you holding a Bible in your hand, we are not of them who draw back into perdition, but we are of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Amen. May God add a blessing to the reading and the hearing of his word. Today, I'm going to try, we'll see what the Lord says, and put this juxtaposed to the story in Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 34, the woman with the issue of blood. And we're going to see how God's going to work this out. But right now, on your way into your seat, I'm going to ask you to touch three people and just tell them this one word: reach. Yeah, that's y'all. Yeah. Tell them reach. Reach. I know y'all saying it real confused. I have no idea what this man is talking about today. Amen. You may be seated in the presence of the Almighty. You all know that faith has been our tenet for this year. This entire year, we have been ministering to, preaching to, trying to upbuild and uplift your faith. And it has been an important journey, and it has been a very timely journey, because every situation in your life, especially this year, has called you to not maximize your gifts, to not maximize your talents, to not maximize your skill, but to maximize your faith. This has been a year that you can't just sing the devil away. This has been a year where you can't just get your shout on and your problems go away. This is the year, it doesn't matter whether I put you in A flat or E flat. We can bump until the sun goes down. But this year, your trials and your tribulations are not shrinking back because of your skills, because of your two-step. If you like me, your three-step. I don't have rhythm. It doesn't matter about you. That's right. Don't matter about your twist, your turn. This year don't even care how much tithe you pay. It has no respect to person. 2024 has been very disrespectful. You thought 2020 was bad, and 2020 was bad. But every round seemed to go higher and higher. And so 2024 is a year that nothing else is going to work except your faith. Meaning that if you are stuck in the platitude of your suffering, it is because your suffering is calling for the medication of your faith. It is not calling for you laying on hands. It's not calling for miracles and signs and wonders. It is calling for something that is an oxymoron to us. It's calling for something that is so simple, yet so complicated in its understanding. And what is it calling for? It is calling for your faith. In other words, this year you are not going to make it all the way through without faith. And so I hope that you've been paying special attention to all of the messages that have been preached, whether they've been coming from me or whether they've been coming from the other ministers. As a matter of fact, I know people who have gone, our members who have gone to other ministries just to visit them. And even when they get there, what is he talking about? Faith. What is she talking about? Faith. Because God knows what we're getting ready to go into. And so this is the year that you're going to need to settle your faith. You're going to need to know who you believe in. You're going to need to know why you believe in him. And you're going to need to know how to stand on that belief, because the world is not altogether there. It doesn't matter whether you ride the back of the donkey or ride the back of the elephant. Some of you understand what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. I'm not telling you not to vote. Vote, please. But I'm telling you that sometimes we think our vote is really what's in charge. And don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about the Electoral College. I know about them too. They think they in charge. But let me tell you something. If it is not God who allows things to be for his own divine pleasure to be fulfilled and his own divine wisdom to be enacted, if it is not for that, anybody that gets in the office, they still won't have any power, because all power belongs to God. God is the only omnipotent being. God is the only omniscient being. God is the only being that can stand on the A and stand on the Z at the same time. God is the only one who can start at the beginning and know what the end is before you even take off. God is the only one who can understand what's happening in the middle while he holds the circle of time together by his own word. And you have got to settle on the fact that nobody is coming to save us except the one that's coming back for us. I wish I had a witness on that. Because we are out here fighting and arguing with each other and cussing each other out because we think that the main house is the White House. And we forgot Jesus said, I didn't come to earth to build any house. As a matter of fact, while I was on earth, I didn't even have a house. He said, but while I was on earth, I was running a construction work up in glory. And that construction work that I was running up in glory, it is the house that is not made by man. He said, I'm going away to build a mansion, just one mansion that's going to have space enough for everybody that believes on me. Can you imagine how huge this mansion must be, that everybody going to have their own house out of all the people that get saved? I mean, it's got to be a place that God has been working on. I'm just trying to let you know the reason why you got to have faith is because God is still in control. Would you look at three people and tell them he's still in control? God still got the power. 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 No, he has not allowed the devil to take your life and run away. No, he has not allowed your trial to get away from him. No, he has not allowed your problem to run you down. No, he has not turned his back on you. No, he has not given way on you. Your God sees you. Your God sees what you're going through. Your God knows what you're experiencing. Your God is standing right there with you. Your God understands your hurt. Your God understands your pain. Your God understands your trial. Your God understands your tears. Your God understands your anxiety. Your God understands your doubt. Your God understands your drawback. Your God understands it all. And once you understand that God understands, then all you need to do is have faith in that God. I wish somebody would just shout, I've got the faith. My daddy was a good old Baptist pastor, and he came up with a slogan. He said, if you have the faith, God has the power. See, I know about faith. I was raised in faith. He named our church Mountain of Faith. And then if that wasn't good enough, a few days later, he changed it and said, Greater Mountain of Faith. He was always pushing on faith. He was always teaching us to push on faith. He said, you can't get it right until you get faith in your life. You have got to have faith. And I'm here to tell many of you that the reason, not why you're suffering, because everybody is going to suffer something. It is not about your suffering. Everybody's going to suffer something, but everybody's not going to survive the suffering. The fire is going to try everybody, but everybody is not going to survive the fire. Problem is going to come to everybody. Trial is going to come to everybody. Struggle is going to come to everybody. You're not special because you're going through something. Everybody is going to go through something. But how you go through, because I always say I'd rather go through than get stuck. And some of you, you are stuck in your trial. You are stuck in your tribulation. And you're wondering, what's the difference between you and I? I can smile while I'm going through because I know that if I keep going through, one day I'm going to come out. But you're stuck there crying because you don't think that there is a way out. Because you don't know that there is a way out. Because you don't know that there is not only God making a way of escape, but then he gives you strength enough to be able to make it to the way of escape so that you can bear what you got to bear until you get to the exit of your struggle. I wish I had somebody in here that would celebrate because you woke up this morning feeling like you almost at the escape line. You woke up this morning feeling like if I could just go a little bit further, I'll be all right. You woke up this morning saying, I'm not throwing in the towel and I'm not giving up right now because I'm almost in the place. Do I have anybody that feel like you just about there? I'm just about there. I'm just about there. I know I'm just about there because it don't weigh as much as it. Hold on. I'm still carrying the same thing, but it don't weigh as much. You know, when you first start lifting weights, they're really heavy, and they tell you just keep on lifting the same weight. But then after a certain amount of time, you keep lifting the same weight and it becomes easier for you to lift. It's not that the weight got lighter, it's that your muscles got stronger. I wish. That's how I know that my faith is intact. I'm carrying the same stuff, but before it used to bog me down. But now they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Now I'm walking with the same burden, and nothing's able to keep me down. Nothing's able to keep. Do you have some people that's confused in your life because they wondering how you going through the same thing they going through, but you got a smile on your face and you still making it, and you walk in with grace and you make it look like it's easy. They almost think that you're not going through nothing, and you have to remind them, no, I'm going through the same thing you're going through, but my God is here with me, and my faith is in God, and I know that the same way that I came in is the same way that He's gonna get me out. I wish I had some praisers in the house right now. Look at your neighbor and say, I know I'm coming out. I know I'm coming out. I don't have to ask no doctor. I don't have to ask no mayor. I don't have to ask no surgeon. I don't have to ask no president. It don't matter who they are. I know I'm all right because I know I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I don't know who I'm talking to today. I'm trying to leave it alone. But somebody need to know today that if you keep the faith, you're coming out. If you keep the faith, you're coming out. If you keep on moving, you're coming out. If you keep on trusting, you're coming out. No, it is not going to break you. No, it is not going to kill you. No, it is not going to murder you. God didn't allow this to happen in your life so it could take you out. He allowed it to happen in your life so you could exercise your faith muscles. And if you exercise your faith muscle, you can carry the same thing and it don't weigh you down. And when the enemy know that there's nothing he can throw at you that's going to weigh you down or going to stop you or going to make you cry, then he go on about his business and start bothering somebody else. But you. And so Hebrews 11 says why we need to have this faith. Hebrews 11 says that it is faith that pleases God. Hebrews 11:6. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Why do you need faith? Because you know that God's in control. We all know that. We know that God is all powerful. We all know that. We all know that God is it. We know that. Beside him, there's no other. So once you know that, you know who to put your faith in. Once you put your faith in him, why do you put your faith in him? Because you cannot please God without faith. Oh, wait a minute. Because you thought you put faith in God so you could come through. No. You're already going to come through. You put your faith in God because when a God that great is looking out for little bitty old you ought to want to make him as happy as he makes you. I wish somebody heard. You ought to want to please God as close as you can to him pleasing you. Here it is, God go out of his way to do for us, and we don't even deserve God doing anything for us. God done delivered us from car accidents. God done delivered us from parties where people done slipped the Mickey in our drink and we didn't even know it, with all crazy sales. We done went home with people who are murderers and all kind of crazy stuff. And God still, many are the afflictions of us, but God still with our crazy self. Even after we got saved by grace through faith, guess what? We still crazy. And because of that, God is still looking out for. Do I have anybody in here that God's still looking out for you? Do I have anybody in here that don't mind admitting that you crazy? That sometimes you out your mind? That sometimes you can know the right thing to do, but you still choose wrong? That sometimes you know the best thing to do, but you still choose the worst? That sometimes you can see what's going on with that rascal, but you still dating him anyway? That sometimes you can, oh my God, I'm in here now. I might as well keep going. You can look at him. You see both his eyes crossed like that. But you talking about, yeah, I think I can straighten him up. The devil is a lie. You done all got yourself off. I wish somebody in here would just take 60 seconds to give God praise for the good that he's been to you. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Can I say one more thing about that and then I'll move on? Without faith, it is impossible to please him. It's impossible to please him. You can't. Praise does not please God. I see all y'all talking about, when the praise is God, the blessing come down, right? That's not true. The only things in this world that we have that moves God is faith and his word. That's it. God is not searching for your praises. God is searching for your faith. God is not searching for all the books you read. God is searching for his word. Because as he is going through, looking to whom he's going to bless, to whom he's going to move for, what attracts his attention is faith. We celebrate David, but we celebrate his relationship with God for the wrong reason. So we celebrate his blessing from God and his relationship with God based on his praise. But it wasn't his praise, it was his faith. Because David did not stand in front of the lion and sing a song. That's what y'all like to do. That's that stuff y'all like to do. That's what y'all like to do. Y'all wait till the devil comes and y'all want to sing, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan," and think he gonna go away. That's not. When he stood in front of the bear, he didn't grab his harp and say, "Hold on a second, don't attack yet. Let me play my harp." His harp didn't do it. No, when he stood in front of the lion and he stood in front of the bear, guess what he did? He used his faith. He said, "I know you can't kill me because I serve God." That's that childlike faith. He really believed he was invincible. And guess what? He was invincible. Not by his singing, not by his playing, not by his dancing, not by his twirling, but by his faith. He moved God. You have got to learn that if you're going to be pleasing to God, then that's what you got to do. You got to upbuild your faith. You got to use your faith. Because without faith, it is impossible to please him. It's impossible to please him. So you've been saying from January 1st up to now that this is your year of faith. But are you seeking faith to please yourself? Or are you building up your faith to be pleasing to God? Can I tell you how that works? Building up your faith to be pleasing to God is about taking every opportunity that something stands against you and against God to use your faith. Not so you can get a car out of it. Not so you can get a house out of it. Y'all might have to edit this stuff out. People don't like this. Not so that you can impress people with your money or your job or where you live in your neighborhood. It's nothing like that. See, your faith that pleases, it comes in on a totally different bias. Faith that pleases God is when the lions show up and you dare to believe that God will deliver you from the lion's mouth. That's faith that pleases God. When the bear shows up and you decide you're not running away this time. You ran the last 3 times, but this time, God, we getting ready to stand up and we're going to square our shoulders and we just got to do what we got to do. When the giant shows up, you don't go to acting like the giant and cussing out and going fighting all of this stuff. No, you stand square shoulder and you say what David said. You say, look, I don't care how big and tall you are. My God is a deliverer. You don't know my God. You know, and as a matter of fact, God, you can sit this one out. I'll take this one on for you because I believe you so much that I know you're not going to let nothing happen to me as long as I'm trying to put a smile on your face. How many of you understand that it is so important to be pleasing to God? How do you please God? How do you please God? This Sunday, I ain't going to just preach to y'all. Y'all going to preach back this Sunday. How do you please God? How do you put a smile on God's face? How do you make God happy? It's not a song. It's not a dance. It's not a tambourine. It's not a keyboard. It's not drums. It's not a bass guitar. What is it? By what? By what? By what? Imagine taking your life day by day. Don't take the whole year. Don't take the whole month. What if you just day by day woke up in the morning and said, today, God, I'm going to use my faith. Every day. This morning, God, I'm telling you right now, God, now let me tell you what that sounds like. Now to God, that puts a smile on his face. To the enemy, that puts a try me sign on your life. That's why some of y'all wouldn't say it right then, because you know that when you say, oh, this morning, today, God, I'm going to use my faith. You know the enemy say, oh, for real? Oh, seriously? That's what we're doing? You're going to use your faith today? Let's see if you're going to use your faith here. You're going to use your faith to love somebody that you know hates you? You're going to lose your faith so you can turn the other cheek if somebody smack you on this side? Oh, wait. Oh, y'all thought I was talking about using your faith to get a car, to get a house, to get a better job. No. That's not what I'm talking about. We talking about putting a smile on God's face, not yours. When you put a smile on God's face, that's when he in turn will put a smile on your face. But if you just seeking God so he can put a smile on your face, look at your neighbor and say, God is not Santa Claus. I had to say Santa Claus because I was going to say something else, but then I remember it's children still running around here. I don't say other stuff. They left the church. God is not your street worker. Now y'all understood what I'm saying now. Because see, when I said the other thing, they didn't understand it. But so when I said street work, they said, ooh. Yeah, you don't go and put God out on the street and tell him he better come back with your money. He better come back with your blessing. He better come back with your stuff. No, that's not God. I dare you. Liam laughing. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I want to see you do it. I want to see how that's going to turn out. God's going to remind you very quickly who the real OG truly is. Who the real pimp to pimp, player to player really is. We're putting a smile on God's face. And that leads us to Hebrews chapter 10, verses 38, 39. Opens up and says, now the just shall live by faith. Let's take a pivot right there really quickly. The just shall live by faith. That means that faith is a lifestyle. That's where we get it wrong. Because you think salvation is a lifestyle. You think holiness is a lifestyle. It's not. The lifestyle is faith. Because you can't have strength and holiness without faith. Your salvation is null and void without faith. The thing that we're supposed to be standing up in every single day has nothing to do with how long our dresses are, whether or not we wear red, if we wear white on first Sundays and put them little doilies on our head. Has nothing to do with men got suits on or if they wearing jeans. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. All of those things are a remark of your faith. So what we're supposed to be living out is our faith. Every single day that we wake up, we're supposed to be living our faith. Every day that we wake up, we're supposed to be expressing how much we truly believe in God. every single day. And then he adds a word to it, and I caught it. The just shall live by faith. See, I figured it out, Mama. We don't have a church full of just people. We have a church full of members. And you know the difference because membership doesn't take faith. You could be a member of a church and have zero faith. You can stand right up there in tears and snot falling all out your nose and everybody bringing you tissue and trying to lay hands and hug you, and then they do the sinner's prayer with you. Do you believe that Jesus Christ is Lord? Yes, I do. Do you believe that he's been raised from the dead? Yes, I do. Do you believe that he was resurrected? Yes, I do. Do you believe that if you believe all of that, then you shall have everything? Yes, I do. And then before they get back to their seat, somebody looked at them the wrong way, and here we go. If you got enough gall in you to lay your religion down, it's tough. I said it was going to be that Sunday. I said it, right? See, and you're trying to figure out, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Again, same thing. The just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. Who are the just? The just are people who are in God, and because of their faith, they are able to walk equitably, equally, balanced with both God and man. That is what it is to be just. Just doesn't mean that sometimes you don't have to live with the consequences of your action. But if you're just, even if you fall out of line, justness will keep you connected to God in such a way that he will never throw you away. Even if he spank you, the spanking come out of love because you're still his child. Just means that God looks at you, and it's the phrase that we use all the time. He looks beyond my fault and ministers to my needs. Now, you cannot live in that justness where you are equitable with people and you live in a moral sense, right? You can't even expect that without faith. It takes faith to love some people. Y'all gonna act like that? There's at least one person in your life this month, and we only, in the 8th, 9th day? In this month, in the month of September, it was the 3rd of September, in the month of September, in this month, is somebody that you had to look to Jesus and say, Lord, 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 let me put these earrings back on. Lord, I just got to believe that you going to work this out. Because I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know who's going to be standing at the end. I plan on it being me. The just shall live every day in order to stand before God and say that we are just. The only way to do that is to live a life of faith. Whatever is right, that's just. That's God being just. So you say, whatever is right, he will pay. That's just. Well, hold on now, because see, whatever is right by God, he will pay. It's only a couple things that God promised to really pay. And that's what's right and vengeance. Why am I saying that? David was just, and he lived in faith. And it's the only thing that saved his life. He still lost that first baby because God said that's only right. Sometimes we get what's right justly, even though we don't like it. But what we should praise God for is that the wages of sin is death. Look at your neighbor and say, but you still breathing. You messed up and you walking around mad at God because you still got to deal with some of the consequences of your situation, when you should be celebrating God because at least you're not dead. Now, you can sit there and be real arrogant all you want to be arrogant, but at the end of the day, you ain't got to look back over your whole life. You can look back over your yesterday. You can look back over your this morning on your way here when the car cut you off. You didn't say the words, but you sure thought them. Jesus said you got to give an account for every idle word that you use. Some of us going to be before the Lord a long time. You mean I got to answer for the stuff I didn't even say? Did you think it? That's why eternity, it's going to take eternity for him to, one of his eternity is going to be on questioning just what I said and the stuff I thought. Jesus, we still here? We still here? Every day, we're to live a lifestyle of faith. And that is why it is so critical for you to understand this. Now, what you need to know is that really there are two different motivations for faith, because faith is not something that is built easily. You know, people are always talking about me because they like, you know, you just skinny. We watch you eat all the time, and you just don't never gain no weight. And then I eat just one little thing, and then I just win. And they say that like I don't have to work out. I'm 53 years old. They say that like I just wake up in the morning and say, hey, let me down, you know, this and this and this and this and this, and I ain't got to do no work. Leon, I be sweating, man. I'll go through. Little kids yesterday at Fun Day was calling me into that bouncy house. I was like, no, I'm going to jump out here. I'm not getting in there. I'm not getting in there with them kids. Not torturing me, sir. It's not happening to me. I'm smarter than that. I did the right thing. That's just. I'm not, you know. So there are, you have to be motivated to really work on your faith. You have to be motivated to do it. It doesn't just come to you. You have to be motivated. And guess what? Nothing motivates your faith like trial and tribulation, problems, challenges, struggle. Some of us in here, we don't pray until trouble comes. I can tell when trouble really happened in people's lives because we call prayer services, and I get 6 people show. And then I wait till after the prayer service, about a month from now, and then people start calling, you know, this happened to me. I can't believe it. And I want to say so badly, you want me to pray with you? Well, you should have came to prayer service. We could have prayed together. We could have headed this off as opposed to waiting until the enemy come up on us. Now we got to fight it right here. What if we had fought him yesterday? He might not have even made it here. Those are the things, unfortunately, that motivate us. But so there are two things. There are people who are motivated to use their faith out of want, and there are people who are motivated to utilize their faith out of need. People who are motivated to use their faith out of want are people like Peter. Peter didn't necessarily need to get out of the boat. He wanted to get out of the boat. He didn't necessarily have to walk to Jesus. The same faith, he could have said, "Can I swim to you?" I'm pretty sure he was a good swimmer. He was a fisherman. So it would have took the same faith to swim to Jesus in the storm than it did to walk. But he said, "No, I want to walk in the same faith that you're using right now. I want that." Not because I'm under pressure, not because I feel violated, not because I'm anxious, not because anxiety is ruling my life. No, I just want to walk in faith. And there are some folk in this church, I'm so glad you're here, because I've got at least a few people that just want their faith to be strong. I don't need it. I don't wait till I'm in trouble to pray. I pray in season and out of season. I don't wait until the devil comes for me to go on the fast. I don't wait for the church to call the fast and then question them about the fast. No, I go on my own fast. And it's not so I can lose weight. It's not so I can... No, I go on my own fast just because I want to. I want to please God. I want to show him that he's the most important being in my life. I want to show him, and I want him to show me what's coming down the road. I want to be ready for what happened. I want to understand more. I want to read his word more. I don't just grab my Bible when it's time for me to minister a word or it's time for me to go to church. No, I grab my Bible. As a matter of fact, I grab my Bible so much, it's in my heart. That's what's keeping me. That's what helped me, because I'm not always able to grab the book, but I am able to put it in my heart. And as long as I've been saved, if I just took one scripture a day and put it in my heart, I've been going through the whole Bible by now. I'm glad to be around people who want faith, who want to use their faith. It's good to be around those people because they'll walk with you. They don't shrink back from struggle. They'll walk with you. You can go to a person and tell them that the doctor saw a lump on your chest, and people that want to have faith, it ain't even their problem, but they'll jump right in there with you. Oh, the devil trying to play with us? Oh, the devil think he trying to attack us? You like us? You ain't got nothing wrong with you. Well, if it happened to you, then it's happening to me. Come on, baby. Let's go to war. I'm so grateful for those kind of people at TLC. If you that kind of person that want that kind of faith, look. I got some people in here, tell them I want the smoke. I want the smoke. I want the smoke. I want the problem. I want it. Because God has delivered me from so much stuff that I know that there's no problem, there's no trial, there's no tribulation, there's no struggle, there's no demon in hell that can really tear me down. As long as I walk in faith, whatever you want, my mind is already made up. My heart is already fixed, and I'm there with the Lord. Do I have any want faith people in here? Another thing about want faith people is they want it all. They want everything God got for them. They want to see it all. They want to be a part of it all. They want to experience it all. They're like, God, what you got up today? They don't wake up in fear or shame. No, no, no. They wake up with a good conscience. They wake up saying, hey, God, I'm ready for the day. I don't know what the job going to bring, except I know that I'm going to be blessed. Because want faith people stand on Romans 8:28. They know that all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. They know that it doesn't matter what they're going through, that God will never leave them and never forsake them. I wish I had some, I wanted all faith people in here. But then you got those, I need to use my faith. Those are the people that wait until a crisis comes. They hit and miss church. They don't really fellowship with the saints. Because, they ain't going through, what all them other people going through. They're not dealing with the stuff that I don't know people. I don't have nothing to do with all that. I'm trying to mind my business and leave yours alone. Until crisis comes. Until struggle comes. I know people been a member of this church for 3, 4, 5 years. They ain't never asked for prayer until they got in trouble. Some of them leave church before I hardly get through preaching the word. They feel like they got it now. That's it. Got my shot on, got my bump on, I'm ready to go. But wait till trouble comes. That same person that was leaving early, now they here till after everybody else leave. They on the altar, waiting for me to come check on them. They done talk to the minister that they have, that's their minister that they ain't never talked to before. They minister text them every day. God bless you. You got any prayer requests? Got any needs? They don't even have the courtesy to respond. Oh, I'm going today. I might as well, Mama. I'm here. We here now. You don't even have the audacity. You can't even text back and say, you know what, I'm all right. Thank you for praying for me. I don't have anything today. Oh, but let trouble come. They minister know all their names, know their kids' names, know their husband, their boyfriend name, know the girlfriend name. They know, can you just pray for so-and-so? Because they just went, I didn't even know you had kids. Y'all quiet now. Me and Pastor Lamont and I, we in here trying to lock up because everybody gone. You still on the altar. Can I talk to you for a minute? No, church was earlier. Y'all know I don't say that because some of y'all been. The guest looked at me like, no, he don't. That's I don't want to be here. He say that. He won't pray with the people. Don't talk to him. No, that's not real. I stop and talk to the people. But sometimes it's a trying of my faith sometimes. Because need faith people still don't really have faith. They only grab it when they need it. And when they feel like they don't need it, then they don't grab it. They don't stay in it. Oh, and I know what I'm talking about. This ministry, I have been in ministry now over 30 years. And I'm telling you, I've seen it all. I've seen people delivered from demons. I'm talking about real demons. I'm talking about real evil spirits snatching doors off of hinges. And I'm talking real sliding up to you, slithering on the floor and wrapping itself around my legs. I'm talking real stuff. I ain't talking the exorcist stuff you see in Hollywood. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real stuff. People standing before you that you know you don't know and telling you where you just came from. I'm talking about real stuff. I ain't seen it. We prayed for people and people came in. They had tumors on their brain the size of baseballs, and then the next day God delivered them from it and healed. And they walking now. And the doctor said they wasn't gonna make it. Minister Michelle, did not the doctor tell you that you were gonna die? I've seen stuff. And I've seen the same people that were here every day for us to labor with them and pray with them and put oil on their head and pray the prayer of faith. Once they got what they wanted, no explanation, no talk. Every now and then I get one that tell me, well, you know, God is pulling me over because I've kind of outgrown the ministry here. I'm like, I'm sure you did. Every bank you take a loan from, you wish you could just change your membership, don't you? Need faith people. And I'm not belittling it because at least need faith people are better than no faith people. Because there are some people that no matter what happened to them, they just not going to believe. The Bible says they're infidels. You got to make sure that you Don't just surround yourself with that. How long you been going to church professing Christ and you still got your main friends? Not that it has to come to church with you, that's fine. But they ain't changed at all. They still talking to you, talking about you ain't changed a bit. That should be something make you mad. Wait a minute, all the exercise and I didn't went through, all the tears I didn't cry, carrying on trying to change my life. You gonna tell me I ain't changed? So you saying that was for nothing? That's the time to take your earrings off. That's the time to take your shoes off right there. Look, hold on, don't stand up here and disrespect me like that. Want faith, need faith. And where we find this woman today, we find her going from the need faith to the want. But she started out in need. Just a few things about her. So the scripture tells us in Mark chapter 5, tells us a few things about the lady. Number one, we get to see that the lady is sick. Number two, we get to see that her sickness is a life-impacting sickness. She don't just have a headache. It's not just her time of the month. She has an issue of blood that is uncontrollable. Ladies, if you want to know what that's like, imagine never being able to stop your menstrual cycle. Don't roll your eyes at me. I was just giving you an example. I didn't say you had to do it. Because I know some of y'all like, look, one day, preacher, you cuss one day. Every day was that for her. So we know that. We know that she started off a woman of means. And she had need faith. She just didn't know where to put it. She had need faith in her money because she thought that her need faith in money would be enough to get her to her need faith in medicine. And she thought that her need faith in medicine, based on her need faith in money, would be enough to put her need faith in doctors. But all of the need faith wasn't getting her the outcome that she needed. Because we could put our faith in money. How many of us, we just got the need faith? Lord, if you just pay my bill this month. And I'm like, this month? Lord, I need you to be a fence around me every day. Like I need you to build a hedge. Can you help me pay my rent every month? Like, but you see how we limit? Because we just, the need. We think we're doing God a favor if we just ask him for what we need. So she relied on her money, but she would never have enough. She relied on the medicine that they were giving her, but it wasn't working. She spent all her money then going to the doctors who had no clue on how to help her. They just kept sending her away. I really want you to think, have you ever been in a situation where you tried everything and nothing worked? Because maybe you never had an issue of blood like this woman, but have you ever had an issue of anything in your life where no matter what you threw at the problem, it wouldn't work? No matter how much you try to talk to him or her, it just never worked. No matter how much you whoop that kid and put him on punishment, it just never worked. No matter how much money you try to save, it just never works. No matter how much strength you put into it, it just never works. Have you ever dealt with your faith being pulled to the brink of its existence in your life? Because see, those are people who learn the most about God. People who come to me with what I call, I typify them. I call them little problems. I have people come to me and tell me that they're struggling with their rent this month. And I'm like, well, did you pick up more hours at work? No, I took all my off days. They asked me to stay over. And I said, oh, well, no wonder you. Oh, nobody want to hear that. See, that's it. Because we talk about faith. I am talking about faith. Be faithful to your job. Most of us are praying about stuff that it doesn't require prayer. It requires a plan. Your rent come up every month. It's the same. It's not like they throw a magical number at you and say, oh, well, it's September. Let's see what we can charge her this month. No, it's the same amount every month. Your bill's pretty much the same every month. You know what else is the same? You and your work habits and your planning habits and your spending habits. Nobody asked me to talk about this stuff. Nobody asked me to talk about it. Now you want me to pray because you short on your rent and your light bill and they come to turn it off in your new red dress. Don't roll your eyes at me. I ain't scared of none of y'all. I'll tell y'all, I'm from the south side of Chicago. Ask somebody. It's people come to you with money problems that owe you money. Uh-oh. They say, I got mad at them. I'm like, you ain't got to get mad. Just don't do it again. When you find out that it don't matter as much to people as it mattered to you, then you wait until it matters to people. That's why the bank wouldn't loan them no money. Oh, I'm too far into business. Let me get out of it. This woman has tried everything, and it didn't work. And one day, while she's on the ground, groveling, in pain, this is a woman who should have given up her faith. That's what we would have done. I'm going to have faith in something, and it's not working. And he's not doing anything about my problem, not doing anything about my struggle. He's just up there, God, watching me go through. We would be angry about that. I ain't believing that no more. We go find another religion. We go to Confucius and Buddha and everybody now, because that God, now all of a sudden it's many roads to enlightenment. But your enlightenment still not getting you what you need. But you rather do that than turn to the same God and say, because you didn't help me. She should have been giving up on her faith. But she didn't. In pain, groveling over, she sees a crowd going by. She heard about, she did not know Jesus personally. She heard that this was a man who was able to work stuff out for people. That this was a man of God. He was a Messiah. He was a man fashioned here in the image of God, likeness of God. And her faith kicked in and said, don't stop here. Go after him. She starts getting in the press, trying to push her way through. And here's something else we always get wrong. Because we would call the people that old devil. because they ain't just letting her through. Some people in your life are not the devil. They just pressing to get their need met like you. They're not there purposely trying to keep you away from Jesus. They just in the way of you getting to Jesus. You got to know the difference between them and the enemy. Otherwise, you'll turn around and start fighting the people that's got just as much need as you got being there. You turn around and start fighting the people at church that's here, and it's not that they're ignoring you. It's not that they don't like you. It's not that they ain't speaking to you. It's none of that. It's just they are so serious about getting what they need that they just don't have time. They're not trying to block you from getting to Jesus. They're just trying to say, look, you get to Jesus and I got to get to Jesus. I'm not trying to, look. Because the other part of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 38 and 39 is that if you draw back, I have no pleasure in you. Now, hold on a second. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So if you have faith and you draw back, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. If you start out with faith and then you draw back, if you start out looking for God and then you draw back, you start out believing God and then you pull back because of your attitude, because of your impatience, because of what you're dealing with, because of your personality, then God says, I will take no pleasure in you. Why? Because it's the same thing. The just shall live by faith. That means that if faith is applied, if you draw back, if you look, how many times have you started and drew back? God says, I need you to make a commitment that you're going to stop pulling back. We were almost there. I almost had you right there. You got almost to the finish line and then got tired, and then got tired of waiting, and then got tired of being in pain, they got tired of hurting. You went through all that to get right here and then draw back. Do I have some all the way people in here? It cost me too much to get here. It cost me too much to get where I am. You laughing about where I am, but I'm happy because you don't know where I was. Easy for you to judge where I am when you didn't come from where I was. Because if you knew where I was, you wouldn't be judging where I am. You'd be praising God about it. Does anybody understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? You want God to be, look, I may not be what I want to be. I may not be all he called me to be. But I'm grateful that I'm not where I used to be. I dare you to look at somebody and tell you think I'm a mess now, you should have saw me back then. You think I'm jacked up now, you should have saw me back then. You think I got some problems now, you should have saw me back then. Baby, I didn't put the switchblade up. Baby, I didn't put the pistol away. Baby, you don't know me. I don't even talk like I used to talk, because by now I'd have been and cussed you out. But here I am. You better be glad that I'm where I am right. Don't you let nobody take you back because you're not everything that they think you're supposed to be in God. You better be happy with God saying, I'm satisfied with the growth that you're making. Just keep on striding. Just keep on moving forward. Can I get you to encourage somebody today and tell them, don't give up. Just keep on going. God's got plans for you. You're doing real good. I know you always hear about how bad you're doing, but I'm here to tell you that you're doing real good. You still here, you doing all right. You still praying, you doing all right. You still praising, you doing all right. You still loving, you doing all right. You still merciful, you doing all right. You still thankful, you doing all right. Do I have some all right people that don't mind giving God an all right praise? The people with you are not your enemies. The people, look, wait, you pushed yourself into their crowd. We was already total life when you got here. You pushed your way into us. We didn't push our way into you. But we're not your enemies. We just all happened to desperately be seeking the Lord for what we need. And one day I'll realize that if I'm able to push one person away and you're able to push one person away, then maybe if we get together, we can start pushing more people so that we can get to where we need to be. Because one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight, three can put 100,000 to flight. Do you understand what I'm saying? It don't take the whole world. I'm so sick and tired of people saying, you know, if black people would just come together. I don't need all the black people to come together to heal my city. I just need the black people in my neighborhood to come together. If I could get the black people on my block to come together. If I could get the Negroes in my house to go, oh, wait, hold on, something. Never. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You out here trying to say the whole world. No, start with it's me, it's me, it's me. I'm trying to pull the whole world together and I'm not together. I still say I'm going to do one thing and then do another. See, you preaching. Don't start preaching me. Don't start preaching me. To know where he was. He didn't have to stop and turn around and look at her, none of that. She said, I fell, right? Because see, God will mark the place where you fall. I know it's true because that's what the Bible said. Bible says that he marks where every sparrow falls. He know where every bird is going to come out of the sky. He know where everything that come from up there is going to land. So don't you know that when you fall, that he already know that you're going to fall? How could he order your steps and not know where you're going to fall? If he organizing your steps, he got to know. He said, he's going to fall right here. But guess what? I'm going to make sure that wherever they fall, they still close enough. I'm going to make sure that wherever they go down, they still close enough.